Hi there, everybody. This is John Drew here from Elevated Planet and the Twiglet Zone. The Twiglet Zone is the place we put the stories that will likely test the boundaries of your reality. The information I put out there represents my truth, but it is for you to decide whether it is your truth or deluded nonsense. I would urge you to keep your mind open and keep the information stored in case things happen that could cause you to reconsider your version of reality. If that does happen, do not try to cling to your now outdated version. Instead, fearlessly awaken to a new truth and let that empower you. We are, after all, so much more than we have been encouraged to believe. So here we go. Fantastical tales accompanied by a savory snack. This is the Twiglet Zone. This week's Twiglet Zone heralds back to last Sunday's show, which delved into the hypnotic exploration of Dolores Cannon, uncovering the real history here on planet Earth rather than the distorted version we get fed from childhood. It also spoke to the return of goddess Isis in 2050, a time when peace and harmony is restored back to planet Earth. By then, 1,000 years of peace will have begun in this age of Aquarius. The other major aspect of that show spoke to the machine people, a dark, energetic being who had a mechanical body covered in a leather-like skin, wearing a bird-like mask. Here follows an explanatory extract from the show to set the scene.
But now you said they want you to come back in the end times when Isis would also return. Why do they call it the end times? It's just the end of the way of thinking. She brings harmony. She brings peace. She brings understanding. She will reveal, show people the light. They can't survive if they don't accept the teachings. It's the last of those machines. They're leaving. Those machines stayed that long? Yes. Wouldn't people have noticed them? No, because they changed their covering. They look like other people. Were they trying to learn things? Yes, they are failing though. Were they trying to change things? Yes, they wanted the sunshine. They wanted this beauty, but they can't survive here. Their thinking is wrong. Couldn't they have gone home? Not anymore. Their planet doesn't exist now. It just blew up. They're stranded here now. They wanted things from this earth. The flowers and the trees and the beauty. Wouldn't that have changed their negativity? Sometimes it did. I was thinking if they were machines, they couldn't really die, could they? No, they inhabit. They use a body and then they leave it. They go get another one. And when the body can't function anymore, they get another one. Are they allowed to do that? They have to, or they can't survive. They create a body? They can do that. They can create a thing that looks like a body. That's what you mean. But then it gets to a point where it doesn't function anymore. Yes, it wears out. They do this so people won't see what they really look like. Yes. But you said at the end times, the last one would be leaving. Yes. When she comes back, they can't stay. Everything will be different. It will be beautiful again. So then they will have to go someplace, won't they? She says they'll just disintegrate. While they were on Earth, were they able to get the things they wanted? No, they couldn't. They didn't have a soul. They did mean things. They had power. They have power. They hide in this cover that looks like a body. Can the average person recognize them if they saw them? Their eyes look dead. But if you saw them, you'd know there was something different about them. Yes. But you said after being killed in the life as a soldier, you're going to go far in the future and come back at the same time as Isis? Yes. We all come back together. We bring our scrolls with us, the knowledge. Were those scrolls left on Earth? Yes, they're kept somewhere in a gold box. Did you hide them long ago, or what? No, they were taken. They didn't know what they had. They are in a big gold box. They can't read them, but they're afraid of these scrolls because it would destroy what they have made people think. They've lied about everything, and so when our scrolls are brought back, the truth will be told. They lied about history, or what? Yes. Does your group find these scrolls, the box? They're just saying we're instrumental in bringing them to light. And this will be what this body I'm talking to, will be doing in the far future, in the end times. Yes, in 2050, those machines have left by then. That's what you meant by an end of a way of thinking. Yes. Is the world different? Yes, it's more peaceful. No more fighting. No more war. People are here to learn now, and our group will help teach them.
So, where it comes to the machine people, they were the reason that ISIS had to leave, as they infested the planet with an intention to take over. The machine people have been here ever since. They're amongst us still, disguised as humans, with the telling characteristic that their eyes still appear dead and soulless. They had positions of power. They promote a dark control agenda designed to manipulate humanity and keep us small, to prevent us from realizing our true magnificent potential as divine creator beings. Yes, that's who we really are. And finally, after thousands of years of slavery, we're awakening to that as our collective frequency begins to rise, exposing the dark forces for what they are. There are also reptilians amongst those controlling elements. Shapeshifters, who've been here permanently on our planet for 15,000 years, but the time of these dark entities is ending. They fight desperately to keep the frequency of the collective low through promoting war, division, and anger, trying to keep us trapped in mind-based polarity and separation consciousness when our true future lies in heart-based unity. Now, I invite you to listen to this short extract from a recent Elizabeth April video. Elizabeth, as you may well know, is a remote viewer extraordinaire, and I greatly value her work. I believe that one of these dark entities that is spoken about by Elizabeth may have taken over a specific physical body. Whether this is reptilian or a remnant of the machine people or alternate dark entity is unknown. And as always, whether you see this as truth or deluded nonsense is, of course, your decision to make. We're just here to plant the seeds. So in Elizabeth's video, she remote viewed Erika Kirk, the wife of assassinated Charlie Kirk. As you may be aware, Erika is continuing her husband's mission and has recently brought out a book. Interestingly, Elizabeth previously remote viewed the Charlie Kirk shooting only to have the spirit of Charlie come forward to give the full perspective from the other side. The link to that video is also in the description below and also helps with perspective here. The remote viewing of Erika took a very surprising turn, as you are about to find out. Take it away, Elizabeth.
Just keep an open mind. That's all I'm gonna say, because it's weird, okay? And it's like, this is my world, and I've seen some pretty crazy stuff, and yet I am still a skeptic, and I'm still hard-pressed to fully accept certain situations. This is what I saw. This is who I communicated with. Take it or leave it. When I dropped into the remote view and I wanted to gather information around specifically Erika Kirk and Candace Owens, Charlie came through once again. I did not want to talk to him or was looking to talk to him, but he came through. And to my shock, Erika Kirk was there with him. I know, take it or leave it. But I was very confused because we understand Charlie Kirk is on the other side. His spirit has crossed over, you know, he's in that place, whatever you want to call it, heaven or whatever. He's in that place. And right beside him was his wife, Erika Kirk. And so, of course, my first question was, what are you doing here? I'm pretty sure you're currently running a book tour or whatever. Why are you here? And so, because of what I've seen before, I was wondering, did they, there could be many different things as to why she was on the other side. Obviously, my first thought was, did they have a clone of you? Do they have a body double? Like, did they replace you essentially? Because apparently they do that a lot these days. And I have videos on clones if you're interested in that. So that was kind of my first thinking. But that's actually not what happened. And I don't know exactly why they didn't replace her with a clone. Sometimes it takes quite a while to like initiate a clone body. I know it's weird, but it's kind of like uploading a whole new, like you're programming a whole new person in a different body. Anyway, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they just didn't have a clone of Erika Kirk. I don't know what happened there. But essentially, it was more of like a possession or a body snatching, like I call it body snatching, but like essentially what happened was there was another entity that took over her original body, which is what they used to do a lot in the past, especially when it comes down to shadow government groups or the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them. One of their... I didn't really get immediately that it was like a reptilian that took over her or just like an entity, whatever it is. It's obviously dark and gross and shadowy, but it actually took over her real body. And in doing so, it kicked her soul out of her real body. And now she's on the other side. Like the real Erika Kirk is on the other side. And I will say, just because I do get impressions from spirits on the other side, she seemed like a truly caring, loving, like honest, authentic person. And I don't know her work. I don't know who she is. But as a spirit from that side, it felt like she was actually a really good match for Charlie, because he felt like same thing, a very compassionate, very like just very much so about his mission, but also those two together and their family was something else. And that was real. Whoever is in her body right now, that's not her. That is not her. And that kind of takeover or that body snatching happened quite quickly after. And we're going to talk about the process of how that happened, because I had to ask them questions. I was just curious. I was just very curious. We're going to talk about how that happened, but I guess that happened quite soon after he was assassinated and taken out. The first thing, when I saw them on the other side, Charlie I've already talked to, but Erika, the main thing that was her concern, like she was in a panic, like she was quite frantic on the other side. And her biggest number one concern was her children, is her children. And as I'm not gonna cry. As a mother myself, to be in that position where like essentially, like who's taking care of her children if that's not her in that body, right? And so they are very concerned about the well-being of their children. And I think their number one biggest concern is, are their children going to be used as pawns, you know? So she was unbelievably concerned, for good reason, about the well-being and the caretaking of her children, because she's not here anymore.
At this point, it's worth saying that we share information like this not to promote fear, but to create awareness, because as we know, the truth will set us free. This allows us in turn to step into our power, and we are powerful almost beyond comprehension. So just to be clear, Charlie Kirk has stated that he was not part of the Illuminati, so he never got involved in these blood rituals and the sordid ceremonies that they use to entrap humans who sign up for success or fame and fortune, etc. But he did say that as a younger politician, he did sign papers to help his career, and to all intents and purposes, he did have handlers who I am pretty confident were Illuminati members, and they would have been the ones sowing any controversial division-creating rhetoric into his speeches, although Charlie did say that 85 to 90% of what he represented and spoke about was his message. Charlie had not appreciated the risks he was taking when he was assassinated, which, for the avoidance of doubt, was carried out by these dark forces, simply again to create disharmony, anger, and division. They don't care what side you're on. They just want you to take a side rather than staying neutral. And this is why, as I explained in our recent show featuring the wisdom of Alan Watts.
The best way to end something is to let it starve. You see, conflict thrives on attention. The moment you engage, you feed it. And whatever you feed grows. But if you simply let it be, if you withdraw your energy, it withers away, like a fire deprived of air. The world is built on patterns, loops of cause and effect. Most people stay trapped within them, reacting endlessly, playing the same game over and over. But here's the secret. You don't have to play. Step back, and the game collapses. Step away, and new pathways unfold. Where attention goes, energy flows. So if you wish to move forward, let go. Do not return negativity. Do not wrestle with what seeks to pull you in. Instead, remove yourself entirely. Break the cycle, and life will adjust to your absence. This is where real power lies. Not in resistance, but in redirection. You are not bound to old loops. You are the creator of new ones.
There you have it. They want your energy to feed them. You do that by picking a side. Stay on your eagle's perch in divine neutrality, and your energy feeds you. Getting back to Charlie and Erika. With Charlie now out of the way, the focus of these handlers would switch to Erika, not only to continue her husband's mission, but to expand upon it. During Elizabeth's remote viewing, Erika stated that following Charlie's death, she too signed papers. If this is all true, and I believe it is, within this paperwork could likely be included some stealthy wording which amounted to agreeing to a soul exchange or something akin to that. It's a lot more common than many of us would believe. If you can accept this as truth, Erika's consciousness no longer resides in her body. Whatever entity is now steering this particular ship already has a big audience that followed Charlie's message, and leveraging that to create division and disharmony would be the name of the game. Meanwhile, both Charlie and Erika are now back in spirit, desperately concerned about the fate of their children. What a nightmare scenario is that? This is a dangerous game for all concerned, including Elizabeth April herself, as Charlie did warn her that she would be at risk for putting this message out into the public. So with all this said, it is fair to say that dark entities exist amongst us in many forms, and we can be vulnerable to these etheric fourth-dimensional parasites and attachments, particularly if our frequency is resonating at a low level for whatever reason. However, protecting yourself completely is actually quite simple, and my Elevated Planet business partner and chief spiritual officer, Jolie Gabrielle, provided me with the following as a great example of how this can be done.
Removing energy attachments and entities really only takes 2 steps. Now, if you're removing energy attachments, first of all, if you're saying your protection prayer every day, I surround myself in a seamless mirrored cocoon to protect myself now, forevermore, and always, so be it is done, then you never have to have energy attachments because they can't attach to you with a seamless mirrored cocoon. But let's say that you inadvertently or haphazardly or lazily didn't say your protection prayer and you've got energy attachments. Here's what you do. You say, I ask, and it is my intent to remove, release, and detach any and all energy or entities that are not for my highest and best good. So be it, it is done. You say that prayer 3 times. And by the laws of the universe, they have to leave. Now, as far as entities being attached to you, once again, say your protection prayer. I ask and it is my intent to surround myself in a seamless mirrored cocoon of the Christ white light to protect me now, forevermore, and always, so be it, it is done. When you do that, you are standing in your power. Nothing can attach to you unless you say, come on down, hook up to me, baby. Well, you don't want to do that. But if it is an energy attachment, you can say, I command you out of my space now. If it's an entity, I command you out of my space now, forevermore and always. I command you out of my space now, forevermore and always. I command you out of my space now, forevermore and always. So with those three little things, number one, the protection prayer, I ask and it is my intent to surround myself in a seamless mirrored cocoon to protect me now, forevermore and always, so be it is done. That's number one, keeps them out in the first place. Number two, I remove, release, and attach any and all energy or entities that are not for my highest and best good or protection, so be it is done. Or number three, I command you out of my space now, forevermore and always. I command you out of my space now, forevermore and always. I command you out of my space now, forevermore and always. And that's all it takes. But the most important thing is, just like you brush your teeth every day, protect the energy and the soul energy that lives inside your earth suit. That's all it takes. The rest of them, they can't attach when you have a seamless mirrored cocoon. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye-bye.
So my final words of this Twiglet Zone are to listen to this brilliantly simple solution. And if some shady person asks you to sign a contract that brings you success, fame, and fortune, read the small print.